Hello everyone, welcome back to Cinders. This time we're gonna get the Love Tobias last thing that we need for 100% fairy tale endings. So this time the walkthrough is they put together Machiavellic Queen, Love Tobias, and Fairy Advisor. So that's what we're gonna... I don't know exactly what choices like influence what, but there is a big like wiki about how to get exactly how everything or whatever. So yeah, Machiavellic Queen, Love Tobias, and Fairy Advisor. So Love Tobias, this is like the new interesting part of this. So we will start with that they should get what they deserve, which I think has to do with Machiavellic and stuff. Yeah. Next is we should lie to her. And we'll read the book. Next is not really. And then we have alright. Next is what service? And we are going to go to the lake. We're gonna go with the fairies again. And next is sure, why not? We should ask him. And I understand. Now then, we should be seductive again, which we have already seen once, so cool. Next is bring them back. And we will go to the forest. I paused for like the 1 second it took for the game to load into this menu. It's like, what? We should go to the lake. And this is what skip mode looks like. Boom! You don't even get to see it. It's like, what? Our residence. Okay, fine. Let's see if you can see skip mode now, just for fun. Just skip mode. Whee! It's so good. Talk back to her. Ba 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 ba. Ooh, we should keep the money. Okay. Well, he said the price was 200 gold pieces, so that's what I paid him. Why am I not surprised? Suppose it's foolish not to expect more. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, we've heard this. Okay, this is new. She talks about the day, and not to mention I still have some money left over from the deal today. Maybe I can buy something nice for myself with it. And then we're exhausted. What should we do? We should follow the mysterious visitor. Now we should confront Tobias. And we should trust him, yes. I don't know if we've seen this before, but okay. Alright, I trust you. You've always been a good friend, Tobias, and I know you would never do anything to hurt me. I'm sorry I jumped to an unkind assumption. It's unfortunate to have to deal with Carmosa. I didn't want to have to get involved. I didn't want you to have to get involved in something like this. But a customer is a customer, you know. I understand. We're not children anymore. You have to make a living. Life as an adult is hard, isn't it? Huh, that it is. I'm amazed you managed to find us, though. You're pretty daring. Daring and restless. I feel like my life is rushing past me, and I haven't done anything worthwhile. I need to do something. Anything, as long as it's meaningful. I can't live like this forever. No, you can't. I suppose you'll have to learn the truth sooner or later. What are you talking about? I can't explain just yet. Not in our present company, at least. Oi, boss! Don't you trust me? Nope. No. Come see me later this week. I'll explain everything to you. Cool beans. Thank you. I'll escort you back if you want. And yes, agree on that. My room's empty. I just have to climb back in through the window. You snuck out the window? I can't say I'm not impressed. Wits like that, it would be simple for her to be a professional burglar. And what would you know about being a professional burglar? Nothing, boss. 'Twas just a passing thought. Any more talking, you two will alert the house. Thank you for escorting me back, but I'm fine now. You two should really get going before someone hears you. Wait, this is probably a lot to ask, but I was wondering if I could see how you're living now. It's been years since I last visited. Might I come in for just a moment? Yes, come in. No, date night. What? Okay, but only for a moment, and you have to be quiet. So, this is your room now. It is. Wasn't this the servant's kitchen last time I was here? It was. That's before Father died, though. Moving me here was my sister's idea. Father called me Cinders because it matched the color of my hair. My sisters decided it would be more amusing if they took the name literally and made me live among the cinders. Naturally, Carmosa had no objections. You're not getting along with Carmosa's daughters, are you? They can be cruel more often than not. No doubt, they're trying to impress their mother. You've only been with a woman for a few years. Just imagine what their childhood was like. It may have been terrible, but I wish they wouldn't take it out on me. Ah well, I do like what you've done with the room. It might not be much, but it's clear that you've taken good care of it. It's cozy in here and nicely decorated. Hey boss, we really gotta scram before the lady of the house catches us. There comes the world trying to separate us. Blah. And there comes the world trying to separate us again. Do you realize though, like, look, the window's actually closed here. It isn't usually, right? If only we could be alone for once. That would be nice. Because we're trying to seduce him, so. Yeah. Yes, that would be nice. Well, I must leave now. Maybe some other time. I'm glad I could at least see how you're doing. And I'm glad I could have a visitor, even for just a short time. Don't forget to come visit me later. Don't worry, I'll be there. Take care. What a night. So late, I should really try to get some sleep. Oh, maybe it wasn't closed. It was just that he was in the way, so you couldn't see that it was open. So it looked closed. Okay, fine. I was just making things up. I'm sorry. Certainly won't be easy to sleep after all this happened, though. And I think... oh, yeah, no, this is what we've seen before. Next one is... Why were you so cruel to Gloria? Next is... Tell her. Next here is... It was too dreamy. Indeed, why? Well, for many reasons. Next is... You are so cruel. Hello, Madame Getty. So you are not a witch? And do you believe in magic? Maybe a little. Okay, I don't know if we had this answer before, because the game won't let me skip mode this, actually, which I presume means that we've never had this choice before, I don't know. But anyways, maybe a little. My father raised me to believe, and I suppose I do miss my childhood, when I could believe wholeheartedly. But there are so many strange and wonderful things in this world, maybe magic really does exist. Your reasoning makes sense. And? And what? Does magic exist? Well, that depends on what you consider magic. Years ago, people thought medicine was magic. Some still think that way. We label things we don't understand as magic. But then what does that mean? People call fairies magical, but we could also consider them normal creatures who live in the world like we do. Birds fly, and fish breathe underwater, but we don't consider them to be magical. What makes fairies different? So does that mean that fairies really exist? Huh. Well, it would certainly be unwise to claim otherwise while we're in this forest. Perhaps you would like to come visit my shop the next time you're in town. Tomorrow, maybe. Maybe, is there any reason you're inviting me? Do I need a reason? Perhaps it's merely that I like you. Or we could talk about your mother. Wait, you knew my mother? Of course I did. Trollolololol. Fine, keep your secret. We're gonna ask Gloria. So yeah, I can say that we just had a fairy dream. In this, because we gave a gift to the fairies and stuff. Here we call them both hopeless. We should tell Gloria before we go. And we should choose appeal to her pride. I don't know if we've done that before. I don't see why you wouldn't let me go. I could sneak out, but I respect you more than that. I know you're taking your responsibility seriously, which is why I'm cooperating. You're not going to abuse your authority, are you? I know you're better than that. I appreciate your respect. You did the right thing coming to me. So I can go? Of course. Just be sure to return before dark and make sure all your chores are completed. I will. Thank you. We're going to town. No, wait. Are we? Yeah, we're going to town. We are going to town. We are going to town. We are going to town. You're similar to your mother. How do you know? Might be true, but how would you know that? Even if you did know Mother, you hardly know anything about me. Heh, well you surely are a clever one. It's true I don't know you well, but I've observed you recently. You observed me? I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that. I'm sorry, I just wanted to know how my friend's daughter was faring. And it was impossible to just go and visit you. Is that Carmosa's doing? Ah, Lady Carmosa. Your father always blah blah blah. And we beg to differ about Carmosa. And about their daughters, they are the worst. So what is our plan? I have to learn more. I don't really have a plan yet. Why not? Of course, I don't know enough to form a real plan. I don't want to act brashly. I get the feeling there's a lot more going on that I don't know about. Carmosa is acting strangely. If I could figure out what she's up to, maybe I could use that to my advantage. I'm also wondering if I could find a way to reclaim the estate from her somehow. I'm my father's only daughter, after all. There's almost always a way to bend the law to your will. It might not be very kind, though. Alright, so we should apparently go to the inn. And he was brave to fight them. I could visit Tobias or go to the lake and see what that weird dream tonight was about. And we should visit Tobias. I guess I should really pay Tobias a visit. Next is I understand. Yes. Okay, here's something happening. I don't know. The game decided to stop skipping. Before you go, I presume, he says. Oh yeah, it might be when Cinders is like, oh, I have to go. And he's like, oh, before you do, I want to ask you something myself. Yes, what is it? I really enjoyed seeing you again. I missed our time together as children. But more than that, I miss our time together now as adults. You've changed into such an intelligent and beautiful woman. I was wondering if you'd like to dine with me tonight. I'd love to have more time to talk with you. Wait, are you asking me out? Yes, I am. What would you say? We might not have this opportunity after Carmosa returns. We should agree! I'd love to! Gloria might be angry if I return late, but I hardly care about that. Wonderful, so it's a date then. Wait for me at the town square at dusk. I'll join you once I close up the shop. I'll be there. Take care, Tobias. I'll see you later, Cinders. What? The sun is already setting. I spent the whole day in the town, and what a day it was! I guess time flies when you're having interesting chats with people you normally have no chance to talk to. Now we're talking about life, and being a girl in town. Ba-ba-bum. Really should head back home. Why did I agree to go out with Tobias tonight again? I must have been thinking about other things. If I do go out with him and get back late, Gloria will surely throw a fit. And she does not look pretty when that happens. I should bring a shield. A big one to fend off the insults she will surely aim at me. Does Tobias sell shields? Probably not. But he's a good friend. And that is a rare thing. At least for me it is. My life does not offer a lot of opportunities for friendship. And tonight I am also risking spoiling the one I have. It's a bit too late for second thoughts though. I have made the decision and I will have to deal with the consequences when they come. Might as well just sit on the bench here, relax, and watch the sunset. Tobias is sure to finish work soon. If a week ago someone told me I'll be sitting in the town square waiting for a man, I would never have believed it. Hell, if a week ago someone told me I would consider Tobias a man. That same man that tried to bet everyone he'd eat an earthworm and consider sneaking up and pulling other children's pants down a lot for fun. Yet here I am, waiting for him. He ought to be here by now. He really should hurry up before I change my mind. Hello again, Cinders. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. You should be, and I should storm out of here sulking. Why did I wait, I wonder? Because you want to spend the evening with a brilliant young man who offers an interesting, sparkling conversation? Oh, so you brought someone with you? Sorry. Okay, maybe I deserve that. But please don't be angry. I have a very good excuse for being late. There was this man in my store. He had a big, curved-up mustache, and he was really huge. And he got stuck in your doorway, preventing you from going out. So you tried to pull him out, and you huffed and puffed, but he still stood there. I'm serious, there was an enormously large customer in my shop. He was picking chocolates and candy. He wandered around asking about this and that, unable to make any decision. I'm sorry, I missed that he said fat man. I missed reading that. I'm sorry. He sampled every single edible thing I have for sale, and even then, it took him what seemed like hours to make up his mind and choose the kind he wanted. I had to give him a discount to finally get rid of him and be able to come here. Oh, how chivalrous of you to put me before your own profit. Always, milady. So, how about the sparkling conversation you offered? What topic shall we begin with? Oh, I'm not a good okay. Interlocutor. There we go. English logic. Long words in English have the stress on the third syllable from the end. Interlocutor. When I'm hungry. I don't know about you, but I'm starving right now. What would you say about a trip to the inn? I know the place is a bit shady, but I know the owner, so we can be sure to find a free table. Your waist is so slim, I half expect you not to eat at all and live solely on air and sunshine, but you simply have to try their ribs, so how about it? Sounds good. I'm glad to hear that. After you. Come on, let's find ourselves a nice table. How about that one by the mantelpiece? It looks perfect. Tobias, are you alright? You seem a bit pale. I apologize, Cinders. I'm just really hungry. Believe it or not, but a busy day at the store can sometimes be as worrisome as chopping wood. Guess you could say that. That or carrying water from the well, or working stone at a quarry. I wouldn't know about the quarry, but water and wood seem all too familiar to me. Of course, I'm sure they would be. How silly of me to complain to you about hard work. I apologize. Stop apologizing and order something before you faint, and force me to add carrying you back to your house to my list of chores. Force me to add carrying you? Okay, blah. I shall never be caught denying a request of a lady. Now let's get that meal. Where are my manners? You're my guest, so it's only proper if you order first. You're too kind, sir. Believe me, I'm not used to this kind of treatment, but I think I'm beginning to like it. As for the meal, I'll get what you're having. No time to lose, if we want to save you from certain death. You really shouldn't be eating supper this late, you realize? It's neither healthy nor polite. Oh, I see. This is about my not-so-chivalrous lack of punctuality. A knight really shouldn't be keeping his princess waiting, or he may end up feeling hungrier than the dragon. And find himself eating the princess instead of marrying her. Oh my, that didn't come out right. Just in time, the drinks are here. Please excuse me while I drown myself and die of disgrace. LOL. Tobias, you really need to relax a bit. You seem to be even more nervous than I am. Besides, I have more reason to feel uneasy right now. Not only should I be home already, soundly sleeping in my bed like any decent lady should be at this hour, or helping the servants with their evening routine, as I should be according to Cormosa, I shouldn't be, oh, I don't know, playing a princess, I guess. If you're referring to us going for a date, because I'm not really sure I'm still following this fairy tale metaphor thing we've got going on. Maybe we could start speaking more plainly from now on. Yes, Tobias, I'd like that. Even fairy tales shouldn't be too convoluted. It's okay if you feel awkward. I mean, not in a bad way. You're not doing anything bad. I think I know what you're trying to say. It does feel strange to go out like this. I mean, we've known each other since childhood. Exactly. It's like one moment we're children playing guards and bandits. Fiends and fortresses. Or dens and doctors. I don't think I remember that one. And now, suddenly, we're adults playing who knows what? You're right, of course. But isn't this the point of being all grown up? Being able to play games without anyone telling you to play them safely? Yeah. I guess we're not children anymore, and we can't do this the same way that we used to. Being nervous is only a sign that we're aware enough of what may happen, what may be already happening. Children are carefree due to ignorance, which we can no longer afford. A very keen observation, Cinders. I think you managed to grasp exactly what is going on right now. What is going on right now? I'm so confused! What are we doing? What are we even doing? Which isn't really surprising, since you're the one who has arranged this situation. I may not be as observant as you, and certainly not as good with words, but what I want to say is that I think... Oh, I don't know. Oh, come on. Now you have to tell me. What is it? Alright, I got the impression that you've been flirting with me for the last few days. Now, I may just be a humble merchant, but reading people comes with the trade. And you certainly weren't this nice before. Not this kind of nice, anyway. Okay, I can understand this kind of nice, but otherwise, I'm so confused when people are like, oh, someone's nice to me, they're flirting to me, and it's like, I'm sorry, I'm being a decent human being? Yes, I was flirting. Of course I was flirty. I hope you're not feeling threatened by women who take control. Who prefer to stop reflecting and start acting. Not at all. I'm more than comfortable with that. Besides, like you said, perhaps I'm slightly too far on the reflective side. But not far enough not to respond to a beautiful woman's attention. Well, I certainly hope you're not. You have barely seen a peek of how attentive I can be. And I'd hate to see you running for the door because you prefer damsels who wait and pine. I thought you promised no more fairy tale metaphors. Ha! I'll try. Saved by the plates. Thankfully our meals are here and we can stuff our faces silly. Let's eat. Oh, it sure looks good. Actually, I'm surprised. Inn doesn't seem like a place that would serve meals like this. Oh yes, their chef is excellent. They even have a chef? Sure they do. This may be just a local inn, but the food here is quite well known. According to some, the old king himself liked to dine here from time to time. This must surely be a rumor spread by the cook. Chef Cinders. Oh no, quite the contrary, he denies it. But it only makes the people more suspicious. Besides, those who remember the old king have little trouble believing the story. He truly was a great monarch, royal splendor and honor embodied. Just and strong, but also kind and caring for the people. He was a ruler, but not a distant one, and people still miss him. Coming here and eating the food he allegedly favored gives them comfort. And what kind of food was that? Was that exactly? Why, the royal cucumber soup, of course. You cannot be serious. Cross my heart. But you must realize how ridiculous it sounds. Like I said, underneath, the old king was a humble man. You're obviously pulling my leg. I'm shocked and appalled by such baseless accusations. You're impossible, Tobias. Still, the meal is delicious. I wish I could come here more often. You can't afford that many comforts living with Carmosa, can you? Would you believe me if I said that only now I'm beginning to understand your situation? How it changed after your father had died. We may be childhood friends, but I don't really know you that well, Cinders. Actually, I think there are some farmers and traders whom I know better than you. There's really nothing special to tell. My life isn't that interesting, and for the most part is completely uneventful. Besides, we both know how my situation looks these days. I'd prefer not to dwell too much on this topic if that's fine with you. Of course, I didn't mean to spoil your mood. I know. You know what would make a really nice subject for our conversation? Yes? You! I bet that Tobias the merchant has some really interesting stories to tell. Somehow I doubt that, but alright, what do you want to hear about? Oh, his love life! No. According to his walkthrough, we should go with his plans and dreams, but oh, it would be fun to ask about his love life. I'm sure we'll do that in another one. His plans and dreams. Remember how we used to fantasize about being all grown up? I remember you wanted to be a fairy, if I'm not mistaken. And you, a general of the king's army. But I don't want to reminisce. I'm interested in your dreams now. Dreams, eh? Well, there are all sorts of dreams, you know. There are those which you carry for a lifetime, and those that vanish after 1 week. The latter type includes, oh please, may the sugar trader come on time this month. But I'm guessing you're asking about the other kind, are you not? As much I respect all people who find the sugar market fascinating, I prefer to hear about your plans for a happy life instead. Happy life? Now that's a nice topic, and a really simple question. You know I had grown up a bit faster than the rest of the children, leaving those childhood fantasies behind me. But I don't regret it. My adult dreams are simple enough. I'd like my business to be successful, and I'd like to find a good wife, have children, and eventually retire. Calm, happy, and secure life. That's my idea of happiness. That sounds absolutely perfect. See? Calm, happy, secure, just like... It doesn't have to be over, like... an happy, sort of average, just calm, secure. Just, oh, yes, please. Without any regrets about not becoming a royal general? Not at all. So it's just riches and love? Ha, yes, just riches and love. It may not seem like much or seem boring to you, but reaching such a goal still requires lots of hard work. I may never ride a white horse leading a host of my men into battle, but it doesn't mean I can't be happy. You know what? I am quite happy with the way things are actually. I don't expect things to change dramatically, and I am content with that. I have an honest trade for honest people, and that's who I want to be in my life, an honest man. Maybe you don't want things to change in a dramatic way, but according to what you're saying, one element of your plan is still missing. So which one would you choose if you had to?
I'm sorry, Cinders. You lost me there. Choose between what?
Between love and riches. Don't you know the stories? Sometimes you can't have both.
Oh, I do remember the stories, and I think I agree with how they usually teach to value one over the other. Love. That is my choice. Money, or rather the sense of security and peace of mind they give you, it is important. But no money in the world can give you the kind of love I'm talking about. And as for being alone and rich, well, we can consult your stories about how that usually turns out. The love that I want, that I dream of, is enduring. It's both tender and strong. It can shield you from the world like the best armor. But will also give you strength to go out and confront it, and it will provide you with a place to get back to once your battles are all over. No money can buy you that.
Well, Mr. Merchant, you seem to be very good with words when you speak about the things you truly care about.
Or maybe just the things that I believe to be true.
Maybe. I wouldn't know that. Apart from the stories I read, I don't have any real experience. Neither with riches nor love.
Enough about me. Now I want to hear about your dreams.
Dream. I don't have anything interesting to tell you, I'm afraid. I just don't know yet.
Surely there must be something you dream of.
I guess. I made a habit of not wanting things which are beyond my reach. And the way things are right now, everything seems to fall into that bag. It doesn't matter if I dream about marrying happily and having lots of children, or becoming the queen of the next glorious and just king. It's all equally unrealistic. So I prefer not to wish for anything, not spend too much time dreaming.
You shouldn't worry too much about it. I'm sure a young woman with your wits and imagination will find her path in life without trouble. I know you well enough to be aware of how strong and determined you can be. You'll find your goals, and you will achieve them.
Thank you, Tobias. It's exactly what I needed to hear. It's not often that I get support like that from anyone.
I see you finished your meal.
Oh yes, it was delicious. Thank you, Tobias.
Would you like to go for a walk then? I can tell you're just as stuffed as I am, and there's nothing nicer than having a stroll after a decent meal. Besides, the town looks really picturesque in the evening. Have you ever had a chance to see it?
Yes, it's very beautiful, I know. And strolls aren't very high on Formosa's list of the things I should be doing.
It's decided then. Let's go.
Still, it's quite late. Are you sure it's safe to just walk around?
Ha, don't worry. What could possibly happen? You're with me.
Alright, Mr. Poet, let's go.
Oh, they're almost holding hands-ish, maybe. And his wife said, if you can't lie properly, at least have the decency to pay the poor man. Ha ha ha. I had no idea that you can even order such things at your store. Well, it is a general store after all. Haha, that's enough. I'm glad you like my stories. Usually I can't really share them with anyone. Salesman's ethics, you know.
Well, I guess I should really thank you for sharing them with me then. And thanks for this evening. I had a great time.
Thanks for accepting my invitation. I'm glad we could talk and pick up on loose ends. I really missed talking with you, and I didn't even realize it. I feel like I've met the different person tonight. I've learned quite a lot about her.
You already knew me very well, Tobias.
That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't. At least not like this. You can hardly compare the relationship we had as children to us talking now. Besides, that connection was weakened when your father died. Do you remember that? One day we were talking at least once a week, and the other you were the customer and I was the merchant.
Those weren't the happiest of times.
I could tell you were suffering, but wasn't even able to reach out to you. And after that, it just stayed that way. We could only speak about groceries or how much money Formosa was willing to spend.
You're right. It all changed back then. It's nice to talk again. I forgot how much I need it. Tobias, do you think I've changed?
Of course you did. You used to be a girl, and now there's this clever and beautiful woman standing in front of me.
Oh? Tell me more about her. Would you say that she's also likable?
Quite a lot, to be honest.
Since we're being honest, I must say that you've grown up to be a very nice man.
Now that is something this simple man is not used to. Flattery from a young woman, and the next season collection isn't even out yet. Actually, I am the one who got a real bargain this time. Thanks for agreeing to go out with me.
That's not exactly accurate. It was a pleasure for me as well, so it's hardly a bargain. More like a very fair and successful transaction.
True. So I guess you should be going back home now? It's really late, and I'm sure you'd hate to make your sisters worried. Ooh, yes, I should go, or we could go to your place, and we're gonna respond, we can go to your place, apparently, according to this.
You know what? I think what really makes my sisters worried is actually me being outdoors late. The world is full of dangerous folk after all.
Oh, I guess.
So, since we're really concerned about the well-being of my sisters, their mental comfort, peace of mind and such, the only humane way of behavior left is to go to your place.
Oh, really? I thought that you...
I can tell that you're not really convinced by my argument, but your house is just around the corner, and there are no wild woods on the way, no wild, dangerous creatures.
Oh, I think you sound quite convincing, alright. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. Serious face, okay.
Think about it, granting a poor orphan shelter for the night in this terrible and increasingly uncaring world.
I can't read this. Oh, the times we live in.
I'm glad we understand each other.
Oh, we do, my poor orphan. But what about Gloria?
Oh, you want to call for her? She's not really the visiting type, if you know what I mean.
Ha! You're incredible, Cinders. No, I meant, what about her certain and terrible retribution for your misdeeds?
You've just answered your own question. Retribution is already certain, and it will surely be terrible. Which means that I might as well break the rest of the rules and go all the way.
All the way? This certainly sounds interesting. Are you sure?
We are living in desperate times, and desperate times call for desperate measures.
Okay.
For my sister's sake, for Gloria, I'm willing to make this decision without hesitation. Is this strange to you?
Ha! No, I guess not, but it's surprising to find you so very eager to make the sacrifice in the name of sisterly love. It also is happening quite fast, don't you think?
Remember how we used to play guards and bandits? Whichever role I played, I was always ahead of you.
It's true, you were always in a hurry, always the quicker one, but also fast to talk and to dream.
And this is no different. I don't want to wait. I don't like waiting. It only brings the moment of Carmosa's return closer.
I see. Yes, you're right. Come closer.
Oh my god.
Would you care to join me in my castle, my lady?
If by that you mean to ask me if you like to get to your place as fast as possible, then yes.
Your words are like honey, and I'm really glad I've asked you out. Okay, are we done?
I'm glad too, but we really need to hurry, my champion, for my sister's sake.
Okay, we're done. Thank you.
Now all I need is some cheese or maybe honey. Let's see. It's a shame Tobias is so orderly. I can't find anything here. Never thought that finding food in a store can be this difficult. I'm starving. I feel like I spent entire night chopping wood. Which, in a way, I did.
Oh my gosh! Good thing Tobias is quite the lumberjack, although his skills could use some improvement. Endurance is all fine, but you can't beat finesse. Oh my god, stop! Cinders, I didn't expect you to be here.
Hello, Tobias. Did you expect me to vanish in the early morning mists like a fairy in a dream?
When I woke up and you were gone, the thought did cross my mind, yes, except for the fairy part.
Well, then you must learn one thing about this specimen of the little folk. I am starving.
Oh, I see you found yourself something to eat already. There's some ham in the cabinet to your left, and you'll find some vegetables on the lower shelf to your right.
Really, Tobias? Is there a method to this? Why can't you keep all the food in one place? Do you have any milk?
Not yet, no, but the farmer should be here in about 15 minutes. He always comes before I open.
I'll manage without milk then. This is good.
Wait, did you say 15 minutes? Yes, I did. I should open soon. I may be my own boss, but it only makes me drive myself harder. I told you before, this merchant business can be hard work.
And yet, after all that hard work yesterday, you still managed to drive yourself some more last night.
Ha, yes I did, didn't I? I'm quite pleased with my performance, actually. I can't read this. Considering the hiatus. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Merchant, you were quite efficient with your resources.
Although there are plenty of other factors you should take into account before giving yourself best marks for performance.
Technique, focus, discipline, responsiveness, and above all, finesse.
Oh, please continue. One can never improve without criticism, especially delivered in such a well-organized manner. You sound like you could write a book on the subject.
Perhaps with more practice.
Yes, you could use that too. That may be so, but the real question is, with whom should I practice? Yes, Cinders, I was just about to ask you about that. So what happens now? What role do I play in your book?
And for this one, we're choosing a lover. But we could choose a friend. But yeah, a lover. Do you really have to ask? Isn't last night a bit self-explanatory?
Oh no, nothing is self-explanatory when it comes to sleeping with other people. I'm sure you'll learn that soon enough. I need you to tell me where I stand.
Obviously, you're very close to me, Tobias. That's why I stayed. I wanted to be with you.
Because I'm your friend?
No, because you're more than that.
The more thing again.
Because you're something, I don't know, just annoys me.
I see, I'm glad to hear this wasn't just a pastime to you. But what's next?
Oh, the way I see it, the characters are still in the primary stage of their development, so it's too early to say what the next chapter will bring.
But not too early to make the characters give up their self-control and spend a night filled with passion and lust?
Well said, Mr. Poet.
Cinders, listen to me. If this means something to you, if you have plans about me, just say it. I'm not expecting any theatrics. So don't feel forced to jump into my arms and shower me with kisses. I'd simply feel better knowing whether we start seeing each other on a regular basis.
Don't worry, I wouldn't do something so dramatic anyway.
I just want to know what's ahead of me. What are your plans, Cinders?
Wait and see is what we're doing this time. Because we want to go for a queen, I guess. My dear Tobias, I'd love to give you all the answers you need, but the way things are now, I'm not in any position to decide about anyone's future, including my own. It was lovely to forget about Carmosa for one evening, but here she comes, sneaking back into our conversation. Had she known about what had happened, about me giving up my jewel for you, do you think she'd approve?
Oh my god, what are you talking about now? With me, a commoner, I imagine she'd die of 2 simultaneous strokes.
That is not the crux of the problem I was thinking of, but sure, it does matter to her. You could say many things about Carmosa, few of which would be nice, but she certainly isn't one to change her mind easily, for better or worse. So unless something happens, we can't be open about us. We can't risk her finding out.
So we'll continue to meet in secret?
I think we're being slowly drawn back into the fantasy realm, Cinders. Perhaps it sounds like that, but I don't really care. I know that Carmosa can't find out right now, but I also feel that something's going to happen. Something will change, and soon.
Well, I certainly know what I'd love to happen during our next meeting.
Yes, I hope we'll see a happy ending to all of this.
Well, Cinders, you eat really fast. Are you in a hurry somewhere?
I don't want my lovely sisters to notice that I spent the night in a room with no bars in the windows. But that means I have to get there before dawn. It may be impossible, but I have to try.
I see. Would you like me to keep you company? Shield you from the wolves and such?
With your muscular arms and mighty axe, Mr. Merchant?
Oh, I get it. So now Mr. Merchant again. What happened to the lumberjack? I feel used.
Please don't. Besides, you have a store to open, and I know the way back all too well.
Like an object, a thing.
Well then, you better get used to that feeling and learn to enjoy it, because something tells me this wasn't our last night of mutual abuse.
I certainly hope so. Take care, Cinders.
Goodbye, Tobias.
Alright, now we are going to our residence.
And now I think we're back to all the usual stuff. I feel like a thief, and a good one too. I think nobody noticed me climbing through the window. Now if I only manage to continue my skillful deception tomorrow, I bet I won't have to explain a thing. I need to sleep. Maybe they'll forget to wake me up at dawn. They ought to give me a break. I feel like I've just come back from the moon. 1 foot. Are you awake?
I need to talk to you. Yeah, we're back to old.
And apparently, Cinders just talking gibberish now. I just want the Gloria. What? Cinders? I'm really sleepy, Gloria. I need more sleep. It's no wonder. You weren't here when I was going to sleep last night. You must have come home very late indeed. Perhaps I should ask you about your whereabouts. On the other hand, perhaps not. I shudder at the thought of your late night shenanigans. Just give me one moment.
to wake up. I'll be with you in a second, up and ready to receive your just anger. Listen, I realize we were never really in the best of terms. Okay, now we're back to usual stuff. Next is you are wrong. Next is reason with her. And we're going to the forest since we are doing the fairies. Away from the house again. I can't help but feel invigorated and excited each time I walk this road. Alone without anyone telling me what to do. That's how freedom feels. Though today is a bit different. I know why I came here. That dream I had 2 days ago. I need to know if the dream was real. Blah, blah, blah. The lake is as beautiful as I remember it. Though I have to admit, I'm a little bit disappointed. I guess I was really hoping that someone would be waiting here for me. Well, the voice in the dream asked me to bring a gift, and that's what my father would do too. You should leave a gift. Let's be honest, I came here because of that dream. I might as well leave a gift like I intended to. I still have that money left over from when I went shopping. It isn't much to most people, but it's a lot to me. It would probably make for a good gift. Really isn't much though. I could certainly make good use of it myself. Maybe I should take something and leave that as a gift instead. Make something. But we're gonna leave the money this time. Okay, perhaps this is silly, but it's not that much after all, and I can't deny I'm curious. I'll leave it here by the tree along with some flowers. Here we go. And nothing happened. Well, I don't suppose I was expecting anything anyway. It must have been just a dream. In the end, real life is more exciting than dreams and fairy tales. For instance, this place is so tranquil and beautiful. Even if it's not magical, I feel so at peace. I just want to lie down in the grass, close my eyes, and let my problems drift away. Actually, this sounds like such a good idea right about now. I'll take a nap. I think we've done that before. Let me nap. Everything's so quiet. And the fairies talk to us. And I'm pretty sure we did this in the very first one. We are not wind. Speaking to us. Bum bum bum. You're the one who seeks aid. Yep. Alright, the gift has disappeared, so it must have been real. It didn't feel like a dream, must have been real. Blah blah blah. We are now going to go to town. And we're in town, and just, especially after last night, I guess I could drop by and see. I'm talking about Tobias. Drop by and see how he's doing. Just an innocent meetup of two old friends. I could also spend some time in the tavern, chatting with townspeople, making friends, and hearing all the gossip. That is where the life of the town concentrates. The captain said he was headed there. Oh yeah, because it was like the whole, like, when people were accusing Madame Getty and stuff like that. We should go to the tavern, it seems. And we should ask him to tell me about the prince. Next is understandable. And now we're in Tobias, and they basically just said hi. By all means, you should be in bed at this hour. You had a busy night. I must say I'm impressed by your energy. Oh, something tells me you knew I would stick around and get back to you faster than usual. Well, I think that's actually the necklace from Carmosa. Such is the principle of good service of any kind. A satisfied customer always comes back for more. Ooh, now this is a strangely appealing way of explaining finances. Now that I made you blush, I can see how pale you are. You look tired, Cinders. Who has time to sleep when there's so much fun to be had? So, how was your day? I'm glad you've asked. Something strange happened I need to talk about. That I'll start wondering if I dreamt it. Oh, did you win the royal lottery? Just as improbable. I actually had a conversation with Gloria. Oh yeah, okay. This time we go for focus on connection with Carmosa. And she went back to talk to Tobias and said something, I don't know what, and it's like, sounds like an idea for a pleasant afternoon. Would you care for some company? I think she said she's gonna go for a walk. Oh, but you've just said I should be alone thinking. I did. Damn my wisdom. I should have kept my mouth shut. I could enjoy your company a bit longer then. But I agree with your advice. I think I do need some time alone to figure out what my life should be about. Please, don't get angry. Take all the time you need. I'll be here if you need me. Or if you simply feel like talking. Just remember you don't have to be alone anymore. Thank you. It's new to me. I think this one time I just want to be alone. Yeah, we've done this before. I mean it. I'll be waiting for you when you come back. You just go and take the most discussed walk this year. I'll just stay here and miss you. Thank you, Tobias. See you soon, my wise man. Okay. Now we're taking the walk. Yep. And now we are going to go back home.
And we should mention the money problem, that we know about the money problem, I should say. Here's something new, I think, in the evening. What was that? Who would knock on my window at this hour? Some shady character it must be. It must be. Let's see. Cinders! Psst, Cinders! It's me, Tobias! What are you doing here? Never mind, come in before someone sees you and tells Carmosa she has yet another reason to mop the floors with me.
It's good to see you in such a cheerful mood.
I'm sorry. It's just that Carmosa's back and has such a soothing effect on people around her.
Sorry to bother you and risk her getting angry at you. It's just that I had to see you.
You did, huh? And why would that be?
I knew you'd have a hard day today, so I figured you could use some cheering up. Was I mistaken?
Correct as always.
I didn't quite hear you. Could you say that again? Preferably put that in writing as well.
I said that humble merchants should stick to their numbers since they tend to be mistaken when it comes to people, even if they do things right from time to time.
I'm deeply wounded. I'm not sure whether I want to take you on that secret date I had planned for tonight.
Oh, I'd love this idea for cheering me up. I should be sad more often. Okay, how long is this gonna be? Okay, we're gonna have a movie episode, I don't know.
Don't be. I think we can figure some different and pleasurable way of spending the evening for times when you are happy.
So what do we do now?
Can you sneak out the house for a while?
Sure, I know a great place we could visit at this time.
The lake.
And here we are. How do you like this spot?
Is this a secret place you come to think quietly or relax, or simply to hide?
Yes, it calms me. I feel safe and relaxed here. More at home than at Carmosa's manor, I guess. That's why I come here.
I like it. It's beautiful, and secluded enough not to worry about sharing the view of your solitude and thoughts with some random stranger passing by.
Somehow, I sometimes feel safer with no people around.
There's no soul in sight. I bet we could scream on the top of our lungs and no one would hear us.
And why would any of us scream, you think? Because I'm not in the mood to repeat the sounds from that night.
Oh, so that was the association you got from what I said. Very nice. That's not what I had in mind, but just for the record, I'd like to state I approve of your trail of thoughts. Okay.
Just for the record, of course, with no agenda to recreate those events. How could I doubt your intentions?
Indeed, how could you have? Of course, I've missed you in many ways, but what I meant this time was this place is peculiar. There's a weird atmosphere here.
Apart from you almost rhyming, I don't really know what you mean by weird.
Sure, steer clear of the atmosphere here, my dear, because something's lurking near.
Ha! Now I'm quite sure there's something in the atmosphere here. It certainly influences the senses.
But I'm serious. It feels like there's something lurking in the shadows on the shore, or beneath the lake's surface. Or maybe it's just the fairy tales and children's stories talking.
Really? The stories told about this lake make you nervous?
Well, let me just say I think you're quite brave to come here alone. I feel chills thinking about the stories I've heard.
I always found them comforting. My father usually created a friendly world of mystery, fairies, and adventure. I used to love entering it while listening to him.
Yeah, your father had a way with children. And stories. He was a wordsmith. I used to love it when he came to do business with my parents.
Sometimes I still miss him a lot.
I'm sorry. Your father was a wonderful man.
I guess he was.
You guess?
Ever heard of a child with a clear and objective view of their father? I remember him being an all-knowing wizard when I was little. Then I became a teenager and grew out of his stories at least a bit. And he miraculously changed. The wise man was suddenly gone.
Oh, yes, mine somehow did the same. He changed horribly. It must have been an epidemic of some sort.
Now I actually do believe he was wise. His stories taught me many things.
All my father taught me was how to count money.
And mine was a big child, at least partially irresponsible when it came to everyday life. Everyone has flaws. At least your father taught you something practical.
Ah yes, the grass is always greener in somebody else's yard. My childhood was fine, but I always thought yours was better. Remember the good parts, not only the flaws.
You clearly missed your calling. You should have become a philosopher, not a merchant.
I did consider it, but the pay was way lower. Somehow people are willing to pay much more for candy or spices than for wisdom. So that's why I'm selling it. So that is what I'm selling.
Penny for your thoughts.
Do you believe it?
Believe what?
Well, the stories, the fairies, magic in this place, everything people say.
Do I believe that there's another world separated from ours by just a veil? That its inhabitants are almost like us, but a bit different and can do weird things? Sounds like that old weird lady that often stood near the church drooling. She was also a bit different and could do weird things.
I think she also had a veil.
Precisely, but does it really matter that I don't believe? The place is beautiful, and it has this mystical air about it. You don't have to believe to marvel at the lake.
I think you're right. Let us relax and marvel.
So, you wanted to talk about something?
I wanted to get you out of the house, mostly. Help you relax after a tough day.
Mission accomplished. I do feel relaxed already. Just, let's not come back yet, if you don't mind.
Of course. Also, there actually is something I can't get off my mind.
Should I get tense again? Brace myself? Please let me know in advance.
I'm serious, and I need to know if you are. Serious. About us, that is.
I thought that was obvious. Of course I am. Do you want more proof?
I'm sorry, but I had to ask. I mean, you were enjoying your freedom for the first time in years. You could finally do anything you wanted, and...
I seriously advise you to stop now. Yes, I'm serious about this. Now drop the subject before you start insulting me.
I'm sorry, I really am. But if you are... Have you given any thought to what happens now?
You're right, I haven't. I was so concentrated on Carmosa and the events the last couple days. Sorry.
Well, I have, and frankly I have no idea what we could do. And I'm sorry, but sneaking about and meeting once in a blue moon in secret is not an option for me.
Don't you like it now? The thrill of no one knowing? And sitting in the secret hideout?
Of course I do, but I also want to be able to go out with you in the evenings, or take you places I like outside of town. I want to boast to the world we're together, and I'm not sure what to do to make that happen.
As long as my situation in Carmosa's mansion is the way it is, we have no real options.
Alright, so now that's settled, we need to change that situation.
And how do you propose we do that?
Well, we could leave the situation behind entirely. Leave all this behind and start normally somewhere else. Compared to Carmosa, it can't sound that bad, can it?
It certainly has its appeal, but maybe we don't have to do anything so drastic?
I'm sorry, but leaving things the way they are basically means breaking up. It is a valid option, but let's not do that, shall we?
That's not what I meant. I guess I was just wondering whether things could change here. Here. Nothing's impossible if you want it hard enough, right?
Right, let's assume things can change. How do you think we should proceed?
I need to think of something, and I need to do that fast.
I was hoping for something a bit less obvious, but that's a start. Any chance you can specify that?
I could, but what for? I've got a couple of ideas, and I don't want to bet on any of them until I've thought them through.
Some might say that keeping the second part totally in the dark is a bit cruel. I wouldn't say that, of course, but some might, just so you know.
Carmosa returned home with a plan. She's acting on it, and many unusual things happen in our house nowadays. If I act wisely, I may turn them to my advantage.
So you do have some sort of plan ready?
Sort of is the right way to say it. I have an outline, or a rough plan of a plan. But the answer is yes, I do have a sort of plan.
I'm glad to see you see a way out, because I must admit I wasn't so optimistic when I came here.
I'm glad I could cheer you up. Let me know if you ever need that again.
I'm serious, look at the odds. Our chances are just so slim. Life's not a fairy tale, and love doesn't always prevail. To the contrary, I would even say it usually doesn't.
I didn't quite hear you. Could you repeat what is it that does or does not prevail in this case?
Look, right. Yes, I did say love, but that is beside the point.
Oh no, that is precisely the point of all this.
You're changing the subject, and we do need to concentrate and think of something fast. Regardless of how I feel, it may be simply impossible to be together.
Oh, you're in such a cheerful mood today. Alright, my dear Doomsayer. What can we do in your opinion?
I really don't know. Stacking up odds is what I do. Profit and loss, chance of failure and success. Today the numbers make no sense and give me no clue to this.
And here we are going to choose I can change my life. Pondering the odds won't get us anywhere. What we need is action. I need to take life in my own hands and change it.
I wish it was that simple.
It is, in a way. No one will do that for me, so I need to act no matter the odds. And after a taste of freedom, I don't think I can just forget it and go back.
I agree, one needs to make their own choices and act to see things change. But you can't just ignore the situation you're in. You're playing the cards life dealt you. For instance, would Carmosa or her daughters want to change? Or should they do that, even assuming they wanted to? You do need to take that into consideration.
Even if their fate is sealed, mine isn't. Regardless of what they do, I'll still find room to maneuver. You'll see. I know the change is within reach. Just please trust me.
If you could talk to fate and convince it to change for you, you'd get what you want for sure. I know you've almost convinced me, and I was pretty set when I came here.
Good. So please, give me just a little more time, and you'll see things will change.
Okay, I'll trust you and wait. It is really comforting to see you so confident about it.
I'm glad we understand each other. See, the future isn't as dark as it seemed.
Certainly not now, when we can sit together at the lake and hold hands.
Yes, let's concentrate on that, not on the problems and obstacles. Can we be a normal couple for a while? Watch the stars and each other's company?
I don't know about you, but I'm already doing that. Enjoying your company and the stars.
Do you remember how this conversation started?
What do you mean? I threw a pebble at your window and...
No, not that part. I mean, when we came here to the lake, and I said I'm not in the mood to recreate the events that night.
I do seem to recall something vaguely, but I'm not sure what you meant. It sounded so improbable, so what do you have in mind?
I might have changed my mind, but I wouldn't want to impose.
Impose? Let me show you. I can't read these parts seriously, I just... Okay!
Alone again, Tobias went back home. It's nice to know that he has my back. I never had someone care for me like that before. We really have grown up, and our relationship matured with us. It's such a lovely night. I don't feel like going back home yet. I think I'll go and visit Mom. Madame Getty was right when she said I don't tend to her grave as much as I should.
Alright, we're going to the cemetery. And I think this should be what we've seen before. Hi Mom, it's me, blah blah blah, yeah.
Now we meet the fairy, and we choose... I could use some help. Now we choose the fairy to help us.
What do we do now? We don't search for the will, we just go. Doesn't really matter.
And then we go to the forest and look for the fairy.
To get help. I think we've done it before. Tune to magic. The fairy will give us a dress. Is there anyone here? Please show yourself, I need your help. Now she's talking about like, oh, no one's gonna help me, I have to take what I want, even if I have to play dirty, I'm gonna show them what I'm made of. They're afraid of who I am, the influence I can have on people, if they only knew what I'm capable of. I want to see their faces when the poor Cinders they thought they caged appears on the royal ball and steals their spotlight. And going to the ball is only the beginning, I need to change my life completely. No more idle whining and wishing. I thought a lot about it and I think I have an outline of a plan. 2 paths. We take the house from Carmosa, or escape and leave the town, start a new life.
Why not enchant the prince so he would make you his queen?
Oh, fairy! So, what do we want? Well, this time we want to go for the prince. Make the prince fall for me. Now, wouldn't that be a blow to Carmosa's ego? Alright, here we have the ending. Cinders' charms and wits helped her in getting the heart of future king. Cinders became a cold and ruthless queen known for her lack of mercy and proficiency at court politics and intrigue. She quickly overshadows her more idealistic husband, marginalizing his role and taking most power for herself, changing the kingdom into autocracy. While the dungeons are full of her political enemies, her way of ruling proves to be very effective, and she comes down in history as the starter of the new golden age. True love never sprouts between the king and the queen, as she yearns for the affection of her childhood friend. Tobias becomes her secret lover, and the noble title she grants him to keep him closer to the court gives birth to all kinds of unpleasant gossip. Cinders often feels lost in her new role, but whenever she's stumped, she secretly sneaks out of the palace and comes to the lake to seek the fairy's advice. Rumors about the queen's mystical connections and sixth sense quickly spread throughout the kingdom. The court life fully absorbs Cinders, and she loses contact with her own family, blah blah blah. And boom! Took us an hour, but there was a lot of new stuff with Tobias, of course. All the dates, all the dating with Tobias. Now we have 100% of the fairy tale ending variants. Ooh. Yo. So next time we will start out on, yeah, some of the others. I guess like the independent woman endings, maybe? Anyways, we're done with the queen endings. We don't have to do any more of those. So that's cool. So yeah, to everyone who actually watched this entire hour, because I can't be bothered to split it. Thank you. I'm sorry, I guess. And I'll see you.